Guys, Mr. Gold Raven Elite here with a Meditation Hours book writing session update. As you all know, I am stuck on chapter 2. I made it to chapter 2, and I know what you guys are thinking, like, Gold Raven, we want to know what your big update is, where you at in your story that you're writing. Well, so far, like I said, I'm in chapter 2. Of course, moving towards number 3, chapter 3. The thing is that there is a few things that I am gonna start reliving some memories of my past from years ago, and I'm bringing some of the memories that are coming back to me from my past. Is that being a pallbearer to a loved one, and I lost quite a couple of loved ones in my time, but one of them was one of my hardest ones of them all, becoming a pallbearer to my grandma, to my mom's mom, and that was hard for me. And now I have to bring that memory from the past into the book, which is going to be Hope's funeral. Now we're talking about Hope. Are we talking about the Fortnite version of Hope or the story fictional character Hope? I know that's a lot of people are going to be asking me, like, wait a minute, isn't it the Fortnite's Hope, or is it a different type of hope? Well, it's somewhat kind of both, but it's more towards the story type Hope that we know. Oh, of course, not the Fortnite version of Hope, no. But it is somewhat similar to her, but not that one. If it truly was, I would have said that, but no, that's not it. But my ex-girlfriend Hope, who started the band with me years ago, has stage 4 ovarian cancer. And she's losing her battle with ovarian cancer. And me and the band members got together to do one more music album called Egypt. And in the story, it was like her final recording session, because she only had 3 weeks to live. So we didn't know when she was actually going to pass away. So we went back to my mansion. In the story, we went back to my mansion. We had the final recording session. I took her out to lunch. I spent a lot of time with her before she passed away in the story. And we're in chapter 2, it's called Hope's Final Ride for a reason. Because of the flashback, because of the memories. Me and the story fictional character Hope dated each other in the introduction. The introduction started with me opening up the story and meeting Hope for the first time in that introduction. So it's like saying goodbye to a character, to a long-lost friend in the book there. And basically when it comes to me and Hope being together in the story, and as everybody else knows, things don't end well with a happy ending. So what happened was in chapter 2, me and Hope go back on a flashback together. I saved a person by pushing her out of the way to protect her. I took the hit of being confronted by an attack by my arch nemesis Mahalika in the story. My female arch nemesis Mahalika, to be honest. And then I woke up in the ICU room in the hospital. And all of a sudden I realized I was fighting for my life because I had people who cared about me. My ex-girlfriend Hope was there. My new girlfriend was there. I had a couple of exes that were there. I had my girlfriend there. My girlfriend was most likely crying in the story, most likely. And she was hoping that I would wake up. So she cried and said prayers in the story that I was going to wake up. And I listened to her cries and I listened to her prayers and I woke up. But when my story fictional character, my ex-girlfriend Hope, told me that she had stage 4 cancer, stage 4 ovarian cancer, you know, that hit me. You know, just seeing my ex-girlfriend cry like that. I was the one that held her in the story. And I said to her, let's relive these memories that we shared together. Let's go on this flashback together and relive some of our memories while we still can before you leave this world. That's what I told my ex-girlfriend Hope in the story. So we did. So me and my ex-girlfriend Hope, we relived some of our memories that we shared from the introduction up to from October 2nd, 1997 to July 15th, 1999. And some of those memories are priceless, you know, and it's very hard to replace, you know, and what can you do in order to replace them, you know? So you gotta live life to the fullest, and we relive some memories together. And after our final recording session in the story at the mansion, I was laying down with Hope in the story in my mansion in the guest room, laying on the bed with her, and her last words that she said to me, whatever happens to me, I want you to take care of my daughter Danielle in the story. She's talking about my daughter, mine and Hope's daughter in the story. Danielle, of course, that's our daughter, and that's my daughter, mine and Hope's daughter in the story, along with her son in the story, which she has a son, which I didn't realize she was pregnant until I got deployed into the Marines back in July 15th of 1999 in the story. So the thing was, she told me, take care of my family. Her last words were to take care of her family. Whatever happens to me, I want you to remember me with all these beautiful memories that we shared. Please don't cry for me. I love you with all my heart. And I said to her, I love you with all my heart too, in the story. And when we fell asleep, I wrapped my arms around her. And the next morning when I woke up, I screamed. Everybody came into the guest room in the story. I felt my ex-girlfriend's body. I felt my ex-girlfriend Hope's body being so cold. Cold as a nail. And I cried so hard. I tried doing everything I can to wake her up, but there was no response in the story. And that's when I knew in the story that Hope was gone. Hope was dead. I just didn't think that she was going to die in my arms in the story. when I told everybody, I told her parents, I told my girlfriend that Hope's dead. They were all shocked. They didn't know what to think. They didn't know what to think about it. So, what happened next in the story is that Hope's funeral, at her funeral, I remember one thing that she did for me back in the introduction. If you guys know what that song, Breakaway by Kelly Clarkson is, I remember my ex-girlfriend Hope in the story singing that same exact song to me. And it played at her funeral the way that she wanted it. It played at Hope's funeral the way that she wanted it to go. And it was not easy saying goodbye to my ex-girlfriend Hope during visitation at the funeral. And it was a sad day at the mansion in the story for me, wise, as a character. Losing somebody I loved, which is Hope. My ex-girlfriend Hope, which was my fiance at the time. Because I didn't want my girlfriend to know, because it was a secret between me and Hope that she would be my fiance. Well, my other girlfriend was just my regular girlfriend. So we kept that a secret, and days gone by, and here comes my story fictional character ex-girlfriend Nicole Graham in the story, coming by and smacking me with the custody papers. Now, normally you would think the custody battle will start chapter 2. No, it's the other way around. Custody battle ends chapter 2, in which The Unforgiven by Metallica starts it, because that goes right into my past in chapter 3. So, the custody battle is going to be dragged out. My ex-girlfriend Nicole Graham's mom in the story didn't like it. Neither did my daughter Olivia in the story. She didn't like it. She thought, like, oh, it's going to tear this whole family apart with this custody battle. And they were right. It was driving a wedge between me and my ex-girlfriend Nicole Graham in the story during that custody battle. It was so hard. Like, everybody wanted that custody battle to stop. Nobody wanted it to happen. Not even my ex-girlfriend's parents in the story didn't even believe it was going to happen. Neither did my story fictional character. Mother, brother, sister, everything in the story begged it not to happen, but it did. And gosh, it was so tough. It was so tough. So this could be one of my toughest chapters of them all. Chapter 2 is definitely gonna be the hardest and toughest. It's gonna be the toughest and the hardest chapter in the story. So with my ex-girlfriend Hope dying in my arms 2 weeks after the final recording session at my house at the mansion in the story, then her funeral, then the custody battle. Talk about turning of events. Chapter 2 is full of surprises, and we'll see what chapter 3 has to come when it comes around to that time. But in the story that I'm writing, I am still the character of myself, and trying to be the superhero dad that I want my daughters to look up to. Like my ex-girlfriend's daughter, Danielle. I want her to see her dad in the story save the world, save mankind from an evil source. And I want to show my ex-girlfriend's daughter, Nicole Graham's daughter, Olivia, in the story that she can look up on me and depend on me as a good role model of a father. You know, she wants to do what I do, most likely. She's been studying every move. She's been making every video of mine. She shows me up to her friends in the story, and you know, she always tells them, like, hey, this is my father. This is what he does. I love what he does. You know, he used to date my mom. And I want to be just like him. Be a superhero. Grow up to be like him. You know, being a superhero in the story ain't easy. You know, when you take on an evil group, an evil faction called Evolution. You know, not the evolution in WWE, but the evil type. There's an evil type side of Evolution formed by Mahalika and her group in the story. So, I'm taking on the most dangerous faction in the story, Evolution. The evil side of Evolution in the story that's formed by Mahalika and her two people and her group of cronies or whatever it is. But in the story, it's most likely a fight. I don't think you should compare it to a fight between Doctor Doom and Hope and Fortnite there, because this one's more tougher and a lot stronger than what it is. A lot harder, I should say. But chapter 12 is, it's going to hit me hard. That's the battle. That's the ultimate battle to determine what's going to happen to our fates. What's going to happen to mankind. Am I going to win a battle that I can't win against Mahalika? Or lose somebody I love in the process. You know, you gotta learn to make sacrifices in the story, in the life story. And I realized something, you know. You have to be strong in order to face your fears and take down the most evil, sadistic villain in the story of them all. And it is my female arch nemesis Mahalika in the story, because she wanted to take, she took my story fictional character father away from me in the introduction, and she wanted to take me away from my new fiance, of course. And my new fiance sacrificed her life by falling down to her death. And she said, I'm sorry. And when I heard her say, I'm sorry, she took that punch right to the jaw here, knocked her right out, and she dropped to her death, fell to her death. I yelled out her name, and when I seen her laying on top of the roof of that squad, knocked out, that lit a fire underneath me, you know. I just want to rip Mahalika apart, and that's what I did. I told my officers, I told Troy Sokolov in the story, like, you leave Mahalika alone. She's mine. I want to take her out for what she did. So I stabbed Mahalika 3 times before I put the silver bullet right between the eyes here. And I watched Mahalika fall into the water in the story. And I figured, revenge is sweet, but how sweet would it be if I lost? And if I lost a close friend? You know, sometimes you gotta learn to make sacrifices, you know. And in the story that I'm writing, revenge is never sweet. Because I lost my one close friend, my true best friend I met at the Visions Academy in the story years ago. So that's your meditation hours video update. If you guys enjoyed this video episode, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn those notification bells on in case I go again with another meditation hours book writing session update video. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys have a great night. I will see you all on October 8th. Go, Raven. Giving you guys a salute. Saying peace. And I'm signing out.